very quick run through. 500 startups we've been investing for a while, and we've definitely have more than 500 lessons. I think each and every investment in each country has this whole chapters full of lessons. 2,200 portfolio countries, probably more now, 84 countries, 14 unicorns in the portfolio. Southeast Asia, we've got about 250 companies, 120 million plus US dollars deployed in the past 5 years. And we've got 3.5 unicorns, carousels now, worth over $500 million. All of that, I think that's something a lot of us in this room didn't expect, first and foremost, right? Because back then, the internet didn't even have that many people. It's probably about a third, 5 years ago. Southeast Asia 5 years ago is not even a third of Southeast Asia. But now half the world and half of Southeast Asia is connected to the internet. We know this. It used to be something my parents didn't understand. I showed up at dinner one day, and they're wearing these shirts. Unicorn and hustle. That shirt says, make Monday your biatch. I asked my dad, do you know what biatch means? He says, oh, I don't know. I saw a shirt I go and wear. Clearly, he's not used Urban Dictionary. My mom, I said, why are you wearing this shirt that says unicorn? And she says, oh, I saw cheap, so I buy. Nice color. So it's so mainstream that these words are just plastered. it's part of our daily life. It's part of the fabric of who we are and what people are selling. It's part of the whole media narrative. It's so mainstream. Immense leverage this industry has for the best talent, a lot of capital, and the narrative of our time. And again, 5 years ago, 39 unicorns. Right now, that's more. This is like an older stat. This is like updated early in the year. It's probably more than this, but 260 unicorns. And this is no longer monopolized by Silicon Valley. More than 60% of unicorns are non-US, and this is just an uptrend that doesn't seem to be going backwards. Is this something to celebrate? I don't know, I don't know. When I prepared these slides, I almost feel like it's like kind of like, I'm almost like annoyed at myself that I actually have to do this. Because I fundamentally do not think a lot of these optical numbers is something that matters at the heart of things. And I worry a lot. I worry a lot about what the future looks like. And I really have to thank this one writer, I think his name is Panjie, Panjie, from this media called Rice Media out of Singapore. He wrote an article which I read last night, which really influenced my talk today as well. It was like the diary of a man who was forced to visit Funan Mall, forced by his boss to visit Funan Mall. So it was a mall review about a Singaporean mall. And it had these pictures. So check this out. This isn't a picture of Blade Runner. This is a picture of the mall. You've got your reflection, you got your kind of the soundtrack in the background, you got your neon lights, people going in, kind of like ping with their choice of e-wallet, just scanning the QR code, getting the $15 cup of coffee. We have food courts stewing with heritage since 1949, but yet nestled within neon. And again, the cashless payments going in, eat. I'm kind of really full, but I'm going to get a boba anyway because I'm going to try the new boba, a new brand of boba that I saw that my friend tagged me in. The consumption in the food courts and in the malls, the pictures actually speak louder than anything I can say. And the glaring faces in this consumer culture that kind of looks like now. So a lot of tech in the past 5 years, of course, here in Southeast Asia, I have so much respect for the conveniences it's created. Like, how would I know that 5 years ago, today I can open up my phone, whether I want groceries, whether I want to ride, whether anything that I can think of can be delivered, a task can be run and done. I don't even get off my ass at all. I have a lot of respect for that because it creates a lot of time for people to do meaningful things. But are people really doing meaningful things with that time? Or are they just going to malls to consume more of the same? Your income rises, great, middle class booming, growing. So what are you going to do? We're just going to buy more crap that we don't need. But you got one house, not enough. Hey, you know what? Let's get a holiday house. Hey, why a holiday house, dude? Airbnb lah. Right? Just rent. Or which Airbnb do we visit next? A lot of the consumerist culture, which I am part of, which I feed, is something that I've started to have I'm starting to not like it as much. And so this, I'm going to show you a bunch of pictures of what the future looks like. And if it looks anything like this, right, I'm pretty sad. This is a picture of me on date night with my wife. It's true, right? Halfway, I remember what was so damn important that I had to open up my laptop, I did some slides and send it off in a park bench. So this is a sad, sad moment for me, because what could have been so important and more important than my wife in that moment? This is not the only photo, by the way. If the future looks anything like this, what am I investing in? Why deploy billions of dollars for more of this? More of this, more of this, more of this. So what does the future look like then? So in reaction to what's been stewing in my head, it's come to pass right now that, have you ever seen a picture of a city when you're landing from a plane, and then you see the aerial view and you say, wow, this looks like a motherboard. As you land slowly, you see transistors, you see the lines and the lights flowing in, all the electrical currents going into this. It's like we're big mothership, all urbanization, all progress is measured. Oh, how many % urban is your country? How many % microchip and motherboard is your country? The urbanization is not going to stop. The world's going to look a lot like this. The world's going to look like Blade Runner, a lot like that mall. And I just don't know if this is something I'm that excited about. But I do want to do something about it, though. You can check out this article. I've just been raving about it to all my friends. Diary of a Man Forced by His Boss to Visit the New Funan Mall. All respect to the owners of Funan Mall. It's a great kind of effort. But I'm not going to read this out because I got 4 minutes left on the clock. You go and check it out. I'm getting depressed just talking about it. But maybe this is what the future can look like. Spending time in San Francisco and when just looking at the disparity and the homeless person on the side and walking into your office, it kind of makes you think, right? Visiting a lot of these other countries versus going to the mall, you can see billions of people who, number one, either they've just connected to the internet or they've not connected to the internet. These are billions and billions of people. They have the same dreams, hopes, aspirations, yearning for progress, connection, love, than all of us. All of us were part of the same story. So what if the future looks a bit more human and humane? What's that supposed to look like? How does that inform our investments? I'll tell you a few super fast stories because 3 minutes left on the clock. So this is Gibran here in Indonesia. When I met him, the first time I met him and spoke to him, I was really moved to tears by the story and this passion of what he wants to do. Very quickly, he grew up in an urban slum in Jakarta. He bumped into his best friend, and he became an entrepreneur, but he bumped into his best friend recently who was pushing a cart selling stuff. And he asked the friend, said, hey, why are you, I've not seen you since we were in high school. Both of us, we were the top students in our school. Where have you been? What'd you do? And his friend said, Gibran, my house burned down. So I had to leave school to feed my family. So Gibran thought, how come his best friend is there and he's here? Because Gibran, he went on to just feed himself. He slept, he was kind of homeless. He slept in the mosque while going through school on his scholarship, eating 1 meal a day. And eventually he became a fish farmer to make money, and he saw that he could use his talent and knowledge of tech to actually enhance fish farmers. Today, tens and thousands of fish farmers in Indonesia are earning additional income, and he's securitizing, stabilizing, and involving that entire segment in the kind of work that he can do to give them the security, the comfort, and the additional well-being that a lot of these hardworking fish farmers deserve. And again, this is not a story of charity. So many venture capitalists have invested money in this, and globally as well as locally. And there are multiple stories, it's another Indonesian company. They were tempeh farmers, okay? They look at, mushroom farmers. And Indonesians, they love eating the tempeh. They saw mycelium, and they decided to experiment with mycelium on using agricultural waste. Today, they're shipping more than €250,000 worth of building materials, eco-building materials to Europe, out from Bandung. They've created waste eco-leather as well. They're turning a lot of big problems in the world, like waste, into the future of homes. Superior to brick, by the way, in so many ways. And again, attracting tremendous amounts of venture capital as well. I was like, of course, I really respect like these two founders that we had invested in. But when I visited them after the investment in India, I asked them, like, what are some of the things that, the softer kind of challenges? These two women, they're really experienced, top of their game in real estate. They left their careers to do a real estate tech company. And they say that the FAQ they get while being in industry in India is, do your husbands let you travel so much for your work? Do your husbands let you found a company? It pisses them off, it pisses me off, it pisses all of us in this room off that that's the culture that's there, but I'm also happy that's the culture they're going to change. Quiet and hardworking, they've amassed a lot of capital to deploy against the things that they're doing in real estate tech. Their Series B right now, PE firms are looking at it, no longer VCs. I really, really can't wait for them to share their success story, but right now they're a bit more under the radar, so they're just working really hard on what they do. Now, if the future looks like that, people are talking about trade wars related to tech, makes us kind of stop here for a trade pause, made us review trade laws. But at the same time, you're looking at all of this and you're saying that, hey, a lot of governments are sharing best practices on how to leverage tech and be part of tech. Tech is a force that can unite nations. Trade has always stopped us from killing each other, and accelerated trade can help us love each other even more. That's what I believe, and I think that a lot of cross-border kind of investments and culture can really help bring that true. So with that in mind, I urge all of us in this room, you've got the leverage of capital, you've got the leverage of talent, and you've got the leverage of time. Time to even ponder these first world philosophical questions of your existence and its meaning. So what are you going to do about it? Hopefully we can work together here in a place like Wild Digital, have some real, raw, honest conversations, and we can walk out of this room with a new idea on what the future will look like. Thank you very much.